It's been like nothing short of a movie. It's been it's been really nuts. It's been very overwhelming. I keep using that word overwhelming because every show, like people are like, oh, like even like the SoCal shows, people are like, yo, like IE. Everyone was talking about like my area and everything, taking pictures with people, like signing stuff. It's been nuts. Philly was crazy. Miami was crazy. Austin, all the Texas shows were just unreal. It's been just like, I can't put in the words. It's been so crazy. Philly was nuts. Miami was nuts. Every single Texas show is unreal. OC was amazing for me because it was at a spot called the Observatory, and the Observatory, I was telling everyone, I saw Cardi there, I saw Young Thug there, Alan McConan. It's like so many artists. It's just like a big, like, it's like a seminal venue for like SoCal, especially if you live kind of like south of LA, north of San Diego. If you're in that like kind of like SGV, OC, IE area, like going to the Observatory meant the world. So playing the big stage and selling it out was just like remarkable. I walked out and people were like singing the lyrics. It was nuts. I'd never seen it. It was honestly shit in my life. It's less but like between like personally, I would say in my words, it's less power violence and it's like more an eclectic build of different sounds. There's a lot of death metal, a lot of grind, there's like some beatdown stuff on it. Like it's expanding upon power violence in a more metallic way. And of course there's jazz and funk and hip hop and stuff on there too. It's just every member of the band brought their own unique spin on things, I would think, this time around, more so than the last two releases. And I feel like this really encompasses what we can do as a unit. It's super heavy, super fast. It's nuts. Yeah, I'm really excited how it came out. It came out really good, I think. Shout out Zach. He recorded it. It came out amazing. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm super stoked. So I was thinking, I saw JFA in 2010. And up until that point, that was the fastest punk band I've seen. And obviously JFA isn't known for being the fastest band on earth or anything, obviously, but it's like, I was seeing before that, in terms of punk, I was seeing just like pogo stuff and street punk, you know, nothing like just straight up hardcore punk, fast, stuff like that. So like I saw JFA in 2010, I was like, yo, this is nuts. And of course I've seen bands that have been 30 times faster since then, but those being the greats and that being like my first foray into seeing anything hardcore related, I was like, yo, this is wild. So that was JFA in like 2010. And I guess pertaining to like the lexicon of like what hardcore is, like connotation wise, like heavy hardcore, it was probably 2011. It was in Temecula, and I saw some random band. It was like the very like archetype like hardcore guy of the time of like the early 2010s, like camo shorts, the fitted, you know, a throwdown jersey. He was like, oh, step up, you guys are a bunch of cowards, blah, blah, blah. And like, it was like some punk bands and then like 2 or 3 hardcore bands. I was like a kid, I was like a baby in 2011. I was like, yo, what is this? I got beat up so bad. I was like, bro, I do not like this. This is not fun. And obviously all the dudes are like 30 plus, see little kids and just, you know. And I was a little punk kid. I was like punked out, thrashed out, all the like patches and the studs and stuff. So I was a target, obviously, you know, and there's only like 1 or 2 black kids there. So of course they're like, oh yeah, this is fight night. So I don't remember what band it was, but it was like definitely like a beatdown band in 2011. And that set the tone for like, yo, do I like hardcore? It's kind of scary, but I mean, by like, as the years went by, maybe 2014, 15, by 2014-15, I was like acclimated to like heavier hardcore, and I was like definitely a fan. But it started like 2010, 2011. Yeah. The spot, the vault. The vault in Temecula, where the aforementioned shows were at the vault. So the Showcase Theater, everyone knows the Showcase in Corona. I grew up down the street from the Showcase Theater. The 99-cent store was right there. My mom used to take me there every other week to get groceries. So I would see the Showcase had all these crazy shows. I was too young to go to the Showcase. I was like I was even younger. I was so young. By the time the Showcase shut down and I was like at least like preteenish, able to go to shows, at least get dropped off, a lot of the hype from the Showcase moved about like 40-ish minutes south to Temecula, a spot called The Vault. And at The Vault, I saw, like I said, JFA, I saw Agent Orange, I saw The Addicts, I saw Channel 3, Amy Simone's, like it goes on, like hella thrash bands. My thrash band played there, I had an indie band that played there, I had a punk band that played there, I was there every week. It was just, and like that neo-thrash movement too, of like the early 2010s was so huge. Like Fueled by Fire, and honestly Municipal Waste had been out for a minute, but all the like newer thrash bands, that was like the hub for the IE to go see those bands. Every week I would see so many sick bands. So like the Vault was like, I mean the Dial was cool, that was in Murrieta, but the Vault, like that was the time. It was just, I think about it fondly because it was so awesome. There's nothing like it. Yeah, I seen probably hundreds of bands there, and I was there every week as a kid. It was awesome. The IE Gatekeeper, that's his username. Jeff, his name is Jeff. He books inland hardcore. I literally, I think the last Shred Bundy show, it was in Corona at Union Beer and Barber Lounge. Shout out that spot. It's like a bar. It's like a beer bar, but they do haircuts during the day. Interesting. Shred Bundy played there. This dude Jeff like kicked a bar stool and his foot like exploded. Like his like toe exploded pretty much. Like he broke his foot. He broke his toe like crazy at this show, moshing nuts. Shred Bundy played in a garage in Hemet. Shout out Taylor. It was called the Dojo. It was a garage in Hemet. This dude Jeff, when Shred Bundy hit our first note, he's throwing igloo coolers across the room, rakes. He's crowd killing with freaking traffic cones. Real like over the top IE style. That dude Jeff, he puts on for the scene a lot, but he's like the IE mosher. He'll be singing in his band, drop the mic and clobber everyone and go back, and he's nuts. Shout out Jeff. Craziest mosher in IE for sure. On this tour, I've staged up and not got caught and got up. I was like, yo, let's sit down. I like stage diving. It's fun. I used to spin kick really crazy, but I have to conserve my energy now. I would say stage diving because like I spin kick, but that's when I'm like super extra. Like that's when I'm like super extra. I'm not extra like that no more. I used to mosh like every song, every band. Can't do it no more. A few tasteful stage dives, and then I'm going backside stage, putting my freaking earplugs in, and I'm done. My body hurts too much now. I'd rather get top stage there. Yeah. For sure. Because I can get up. Like, I've been spin kicked. I've broken my hand trying to stop a spin kick. Actually, I was telling Aaron from GSPs, when I saw GSP for the first time, there's GSPs and like Knock Loose. It was like years ago. I was blocking a spin kick, fractured like two of my fingers. Spin kicks are fire, obviously, but I'd much rather get dropped off the stage than duck a freaking spin kick. I'm not doing that. I tell the same story every time, and knock on wood, hope nothing tops this because this is kind of crazy. But Shred Bundy was on tour in Seattle, and a dude pulled a gun out at the show, and we had to shut everything down. It was like at a spot called the Kraken in Seattle. This dude was walking around outside looking sketchy, and he was like, he was going like that, like, you know, and then he pulled out a gun. It was like a Ruger or something. I think that's the word, right? I don't know. I'm not a gun aficionado, but some type of silver gun, and we all like freaked out. So that nothing is really like top. Like that's the scariest thing ever. Like at a show specifically. So yeah, that was years ago. That was probably the scariest thing still to this day. Like that was nuts. It's horrifying. Wise was also in Seattle. Wow. Yeah. Seattle kind of crazy. No, we were in Seattle. The homie left his Switch on the seat when we were gone. He's lit. I don't mean no harm, but I'm just like, bro, come on. And they smash and grab, took it. That was like, it wasn't my stuff, but I still felt bad. And we had to replace the window. I was like, bro, it was a rental van too, but yeah, it was a Wise gig 2018. That was it. Again, knock on wood. We're normally pretty, I mean now in my stage of the game, we're definitely on top of that type of thing. But back in the day, we were just like, you know, yeah man, let's go to the first Starbucks or whatever. Let's go to the gum wall. And bro left his Switch on the passenger seat. And so his backpack, his Switch, all that gone, and the window. But yeah, it could have been worse, for sure. Sleep. I mean, there's probably, at this point in the tour, probably like 10 or 15 pictures of me in the green room, just like this. Always asleep during like sound check. Brax, wake up. Then I get up, we do our sound check, go back to sleep. Then I watch every artist, then sleep. I mean, I'm definitely a partier guy. Like I'm always light. I always love to go out to the clubs and like the after shows and the raves and whatever. But I mostly like to sleep during like the day and then go out and rock at night for sure. But yeah, sleeping goes crazy. Sleeping is slept on. Yeah, no, I rock with sleep every, and now I need to get more, for sure. It starts with being a positive member of your community. It starts with uplifting the bands and around you in the scene and the spaces long before you network to find other musicians or start a band. It starts with the mindset of uplifting your homies, not always having something stupid to say on Crate or whatever, you know. Like, I mean, the people that make Crate are cool, but it's like, everyone's always so negative on like, it's just like, people want to have like the top comment, the most liked tweet or whatever. So people are just will just go out of their way to be like super cruel online and in real life. Stop being such a cool guy. Everyone's trying to be so cool. Everyone's so full of themselves. Everyone's so jaded. You know, they play one cool little fest and they're just like, oh yeah, dude, like my band. I'm like, bro, this, you know, like be humble and be a positive member of your community. It starts there. Like, don't be a dickhead in your scene. Help out the younger generation. Show, you know, respect to the older generation in your scene. That's where that's the base level of starting a band. Just having the respect of your peers, the camaraderie of everything of your peers. Start there. Then you do your, hey man, you want to start a band, whatever. But like, it should start with like being in the scene for the right reason and being around the right people. It should start there, for sure. Don't be too cool, don't be too jaded. Yeah, that's mostly, I had to learn the super hard way. I was very nice and very jaded. I mean, I was very nice and not jaded. And people always make fun of me. Oh, Braxton likes everything. Braxton lost to everything. Braxton, you know. Everyone's flaming me for supporting people around me. And it's just so counterintuitive, like, how is that funny? How is that negative supporting this band? How is that funny, you know? And it definitely made me have a different mindset on the scene and the spaces I'm catering to now. So my advice, definitely be a positive member of your scene. Don't be jaded, don't be a dick, don't be a cool